Hello, friends. We're live. Um, what is this saying? Waiting for me? Okay, there I am. Turn the volume down. There's two people here. Okay. welcome. Today we're talking about complex grief. And this is from one of our friends that comes to our live once in a while. I didn't know what complex grief was. I had not heard about it. Actually, there were two. There were two friends who have been going through complex grief. Hi, Joe. That's lunch. Sorry. So I thought I would go ahead and investigate and find out what that is. I probably shouldn't eat that. No, I'm having difficulty talking. Got some raspberry white chocolate creamer today. Yum, yum. From Chobani. Get a tissue. All right, sorry about that. So today we're talking about complex grief. When I looked it up online, it came up as complicated grief, which is the same thing. But what I want to do is do the definition first. Hey, Shelly, how are you? And I haven't seen you since your vacation, Joe. It looked like you had a great time. I also hope it was very healing, and I hope you're not in too much pain after that. Although it looked like it was worth it. You know, we have to make those choices. Okay. So I am going to put up the definition. This is what we're going to do. Complex grief. When I looked it up, it came up as complicated grief, also known as prolonged grief disorder, is a condition where feelings of loss persist for months or years after the death of a loved one. It can impact a person's daily life, relationships, and physical health. Symptoms. We'll go over the article so we don't have to actually do that. I just wanted to do the definition real quick. And then, so it was a wonderful vacation. I'm in lots of pain, but it was worth it. Right. Sometimes that's what we have to do, Joe. We just enjoy what we enjoy. And then if we got to pay for it later, it's worth it. And what sucks is sometimes if you have to pay for it later and it wasn't worth it, but your vacation looked awesome. So I'm going to stop screen. All right. I'm going to put up the next one. Complicated grief. Share screen. And this one is, I'm not sure. I'll share it with you and we can see. Mayo Clinic. And I forgot to take my nose spray earlier, where I took all my medicine, but I forgot my nose spray. So I am fine. I'm just, when I first take it, it makes me cough a little bit. It takes about 10 minutes. It should just be a few more minutes of suffering through this. Shelly, I was talking about my white chocolate raspberry cream. And I haven't seen you for a while. So I did try the peanut butter creamer, the Reese's. So yeah, it was really good. Okay. I'm getting it together. Okay, so we talked about grief not last week, the week before that, and then the week before that, and some different types of grief came up, and I didn't realize we have all the different stages of grief, but I didn't realize. I'm sure I knew this somewhere, but it wasn't a realization that there are different types of grief as well. So the type that we're going to talk about today is complicated grief. I think there was one other type that Lady Spellbreaker mentioned. So let's see. Oh, here we go. All right. This is the Mayo Clinic, Complicated Grief. An overview. Losing a loved one is one of the most distressing and unfortunately common experiences people face. Most people experience normal grief and bereavement, have a period of sorrow, numbness, and even guilt and anger. Gradually, these feelings ease, and it's possible to accept loss and move forward. For some people, feelings of loss are debilitating and don't improve even after time passes. This is known as complicated grief, sometimes called persistent complex bereavement disorder. That's a mouthful right there. In complicated grief, painful emotions are so long lasting and severe that you have trouble recovering from the loss and resuming your own life. Different people follow different paths through the grieving experience. The order and timing of these phases may vary from person to person. I told you it was some good stuff. Absolutely, it's so good. I'm just happier than a pig and poo that they brought it back. Oh yeah, it was good. I drank the whole thing actually pretty quick. So yeah, I did try it and I did enjoy it. So I will purchase it again, but it was actually a little dangerous for me because it was so good that yeah. So I'll buy it again, just not right away. I am finally getting my Trulicity, got all the insurance stuff taken care of. So once I get back on that and my A1C gets to a normal level, then I will probably buy it again. You have 4 in your fridge. You are worse than my husband has 4 peppermint mochas in the fridge. Yeah. You like you some cream. He goes through about 4 in a week. So right. Yeah. When it's good, it's good. But I'm going to have to be careful with that because it is really good. And it does taste just like a Reese cup. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. You don't even use it that much. Oh, you just have 4 because they discontinued it and you want to make sure you have a stash. My husband will drink coffee with 4 of those Coffee Mate peppermint mochas in a week. Ah, that's a good idea. I would Google it because I'm not sure either. Because when you freeze milk, it gets kind of watery and weird. Excuse me. So, but if it's a non-dairy creamer, that's I wonder. Okay, joke. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go back to that complicated grief. Excuse me. Different people follow different paths through the grieving experience. The order and timing of these phases may vary from person to person. Accepting the reality of your loss, allowing yourself to experience the pain of your loss, accepting, okay, we already did that. Allowing yourself to experience the pain of your loss, adjusting to a new reality in which the deceased is no longer present, having other relationships. These differences are normal. Give me just a second. I really should have done this earlier. I'm sorry. It should clear up. All right. Hopefully that is the extent of it. Get some water. These differences are normal, but if you're unable to move through these stages more than a year after the death of a loved one, you may have complicated grief. If so, seek treatment. It can help you come to terms with your loss and reclaim a sense of acceptance and peace. Uh-oh, here we go. Kitty's here. Let's see. And cheese gets weird too. Joe's coughing a lot today too. Yeah. Did you just have some bad weather there too, Joe? Doesn't help with sinuses, right, Shelly? And thank you. No sorry needed. So, no, Kitty, say hi to the people. I think he likes doing this now. Look at him schmoozing for the video. Look how pretty you are. Look how pretty you are. Mm-hmm. Handsome boy. Yeah, I saw that. We just had some rain. It's going underneath us, that string of weather. Excuse me. Okay. All right, I'm going to put it right here in front of my face. This is my little travel air thingy I just got. Kitty. Schmeisy. Now you just want to bug me. No. What are you doing? You're going to have to get down. Oh, now I'm holding him like a baby. He wants to be held like a baby. This is only going to last for a minute, though, because he's heavy. He's not super heavy, but he's still heavy. All right. So, so complicated grief. They said after a year, if you're not feeling any better, now you're not going to feel perfect, but if you're still very, very sad and having trouble dealing with that, that it may be under complicated grief. So, yeah, we were talking, a couple of our friends a few weeks ago were talking about it. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm not going to say their names. They're not here today yet. So, yeah, it seems like grief that can't go away. And I have an article here. It's not the same as depression either. So I do want to see what the difference is between that and depression. What, mister? What? Oi, little baby. Little mister, he thinks he's a baby. He used to be teeny tiny, but now he's big. You're not a baby anymore. Okay, everybody has seen you. Look at there's his feet. I'm going to put you down, okay? You have to get down. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to the people. Bye-bye. Okay. Cute kitty, go away. So yeah, he needed his time on video. So it is different than depression, the diagnosis. And like I said, I didn't know there were different types of grief. I thought it was grief and then the different stages. But now that I'm understanding there are some different types of grief. And this seems like grief that just will not go away. Yes, he'll be back. I know, Shelly. He is handsome for the camera. I mean, you know. So, okay, let's go back to the article. Here it is. The differences are normal, but if you're unable to move through these stages after a year, then you really need to seek help. So, that's something we need to watch out for. During the first few months after a loss, many signs and symptoms of normal grief are the same as those of complicated grief. However, while normal grief symptoms gradually start to fade over time, those with complicated grief linger or get worse. Complicated grief is like being in an ongoing heightened state of mourning that keeps you from healing. Signs and symptoms of complicated grief. We'll talk about those in a second. So, hey, Wavy. How you doing today? We're talking about complicated grief. It's a type of grief. So, and I think there are a couple other types. This is something I was not aware of, but a couple of our friends had mentioned them. I'm having internet situations, guys, so hopefully we'll be able to get through this. It's just another hour, I believe. Yeah, an hour and a few minutes. So I'm still dealing with my nightmares here, but okay. Stress to the max. Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of stress. You were telling us what was stressing you out, so no relief in sight right now? And I did miss you guys last week. I went to visit my mom, and I just stayed with her for the day, came home. I've been so depressed, more than normal, not sure why, but yeah. Well, because of everything that's happening. Shelly, you have a lot of stuff going on too. Yeah. I totally give yourself some grace. It's really hard when things happen around you and you have no control over them. For me, in treatment control freak, like I can't say I'm cured of it because I still have it, but I do better than when I was younger. I was really bad. Things when one thing goes bad and then 5 things go bad at the same time, it's just it's going to affect you. Give yourself some grace. If you need to cry, if you need to scream, scream. Whatever you need to do, do it to keep yourself and your mental health in check. It's not going to be perfect because you're still going through the depression, but in check. Wavy said hopefully next week. Oh, we'll pray for you, Wavy, because yeah, it's the water, right? Or no, it was the house and the water. It was horrible. Oh my God, the wind is extremely. We have the same thing here. It's very windy, but it's 50 degrees. So the cats are out. You're welcome. But the little cat door keeps sticking open. So it's the wind is when the cat door doesn't stay, it's a magnet. When the cat door doesn't stay closed, that's some serious wind coming through there. So it comes under the carport. That's where the catio is, and through, yes, water issues that led to losing the house. Yes. Yeah. It will get better, and we're here for you. You and Shelly. Remember, Shelly, you can DM me. I know you're talking to Joe. The car issue has really taken my depression and pushed it into overdrive. Yeah, that symbolizes independence. Yeah, losing a car is a big deal, especially if you just have the one. You got car issues too. I got to take mine in to get it looked at. I'm having some issues as well. So, and I don't want to talk politics, but that is going to increase your it's going to increase your levels, whether you're enjoying it or not enjoying it. It's going to increase your stress. So give yourself some time on that. Because none of us really like all that change. Okay, let me go ahead and read some more. Complicated grief. Signs and symptoms of complicated grief may include intense sorrow, pain, and rumination over the loss of your loved one. Focus on little else but your loved one's death. Extreme focus on reminders of the loved one or excessive avoidance of reminders. Intense and persistent longing or pining for the deceased. Problems accepting the death. Numbness or detachment. Bitterness about your loss. Feeling that life holds no meaning or purpose. Lack of trust in others. Inability to enjoy life or think back on positive experiences with your loved one. Complicated grief may also be indicated if you continue to have trouble carrying out normal routines, isolate from others, and withdraw from social activities, experience depression, deep sadness, guilt, or self-blame. That guilt weighs you down. Believe that you did something wrong or could have prevented the death. Feel life isn't worth living without your loved one. Wish you had died along with your loved one. So this is very serious. And definitely you need to see a doctor. And I don't drive. Shelly, I know. Remember we talked about that asking for help thing, how it's very hard for some of us? Yeah. 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 Michigan gets a lot of stuff, including electricity, from Canada. Yeah. And we're all in this. Prices are up. Our groceries are high. It's possible they could get even higher. And just the stress of everyday living right now. Yeah. Are you having storms? We're windy and sunny, but are you having the storms with the wind, Wavy? Because that really scares me. Now, it's windy today, but we have sun out right now. If it gets real dark and windy, and that really scares me because we sometimes get tornadoes in Michigan. And yeah, that is really scary. So this complex grief, if you watch yourself, if you feel like you have it, if it's been over a year and you're unable to function, that's, you need to go to therapy or see a doctor. I hope they don't go up because having it delivered is expensive itself. Having groceries delivered? Because I go through Walmart, Shelly, and since I'm on disability, I get 50% off. I pay $7.50 a month. Who delivers your groceries? Yeah. They may go up, Shelly. So I'm not sure where you get your groceries from. But DoorDash is the worst. DoorDash is very expensive because not only are you paying for the service, but they increase the prices on things when you buy them through DoorDash. It doesn't cost the same as if you go Walmart and Myers. So, do you have the Walmart Plus, Shelly, or no? Because it's $12.99 a month, and you get free delivery. Okay. Oh, well, you should consider it because for $12.99 a month, you get free delivery and you get Paramount Plus. But here's the thing, because we're on disability, Walmart, like Amazon Prime, is finally giving us a break. They're cutting it in half. So you can get free delivery. You have to spend $35, but you get free delivery. You may not get it in 2 hours. I usually order for the next morning. That's what I do. I order the day before the next morning. And I usually get everything I want. And for $7.50, you get that and Paramount Plus. So I don't know what you're paying to have groceries delivered, but you should consider this Walmart Plus if you. And I know Meijer. I don't know if Meijer has a program or not. Um, but if you're paying more than $7.50 for deliveries from Walmart, you should consider that. Yeah. But yeah, definitely don't use DoorDash. That's good that you don't because, man, we tried that once and we will never DoorDash again. It was so expensive. And then the tip on top of it. Oh, and I double tipped. I didn't realize they put the tip in the thing. So yeah, we don't DoorDash or anything. We get it right from Walmart. I don't know Walmart's delivery thing. I don't know anyone who has it here. But my whole family has the Walmart Plus. I just pay monthly. I just pay $7.50 a month. So that's 75 and 15, 85. Oh, I do pay 90 for the year. But if you order more than once a month, because if you just get it delivered, it's $7.99, right? Or $9.99, depending on what you get delivered. So if you do that more than once a month, the Walmart Plus is probably a better deal for you. I just pay monthly. I can't afford to pay yearly. So I pay $7.50 a month. When my check comes in, the $7.50 comes out, but we can order every day, all day. But we just have to go in there. It's not express, it's just regular delivery. So yeah, for a year, yeah. So that's about what I pay, but I only pay $7.50 a month. So yeah. Once a month, I get food delivered. Okay. So if you don't pay more than $7.50 for delivery once a month, then you're fine. But if you do, I'm just letting you know that for $7.50 a month, you can get all that. Plus, you can get Paramount Plus for free. So, and I don't know what Myers charges. But yeah, it's nice and convenient for us at home, for us that don't like to get out a lot. But yeah, they're going to charge you for it. So I know Paramount Plus is like, I don't know how much it costs. Probably $7.99. So I'm basically paying for Paramount Plus and getting free delivery from Walmart. So If you're only getting it once a month, you're right. That might be a little bit. We order weekly. Oh, okay. Meyer charges 15 plus tip. That's a lot for, yeah, that's a lot. I don't know if Walmart has a delivery deal where you can pay monthly and get it cheaper. I don't know. But I know I get a discount for disability through Walmart and Paramount Plus. And I do, yeah, we do tip. So Walmart charges $14.99. You may want to get that monthly deal. So even if you just get one delivery from Walmart a month, it's only $7.50. Like I said, we do it weekly, but my husband gets paid every 2 weeks and I get paid once a month. And I know it's a lot harder with one income, Shelly. I totally get that. We've been on one income before, the two of us. So if it's still too much, I totally get that. I do. And what was I saying? Walmart delivery. So for $7.50, and then you get the Paramount Plus with it. You have to, when you sign up for it, you have to do a special, like they don't just give it to you. You have to go through a little process to get the discount, but it's real easy. I did it online. It took me like 2 minutes. Once one income sucks, but been there before, yuck. It's hard. It's very hard. My husband's been laid off and we've been living off my income. And then I was laid off, or when I was on disability, when I left work, we were living on his income. It's not easy. It's not. I totally understand that. Yeah. So, do what works for you. I'm just offering you an option, Shelly. If you don't want to do it, don't worry. It'll save you. It'll save you. But now if you want it delivered in 2 hours, they're going to charge you anyways. I always order it the night before and then I get it the next morning. So, yeah. Okay, so complicated grief is when normal grief doesn't subside. It gets worse. It doesn't get easier. It doesn't start to wane. It gets worse. Like you can't function, like when you're in severe depression, but it's not the same as depression. Because what we read is mostly it's the loss of a very close loved one and you just can't come to terms with it. So let's read a little more about complicated grief. Contact your doctor or a mental health professional if you have intense grief and problems functioning that don't improve at least 1 year after the passing of your loved one. At times, people with complicated grief may consider suicide. If you're thinking about suicide, talk to someone you trust. If you think you may act on suicidal feelings, call 911 or your local emergency services number right away, or contact a hotline. In the US, call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or use the Lifeline chat. Services are free and confidential. So we're talking about something very, very serious here. The feelings are so extreme that, oh, no worries. No worries. I have an appointment the 17th of this month for SSI to find out. More than likely don't qualify for retirement. How old are you, Shelly? 50? Because I was 50. Dealing with lawyers on the phone. Oh, Michelle, I am so sorry, Wavy, that you have to deal with that. Oh my gosh. My cousin just went through, she got hit by she got hit by a garbage truck. And so she's dealing with lawyers as well, to get her medical bills paid and things like that. And it's just a never ending cycle of just, I don't know, she's having a difficult time with it. Then you should be able to get some type of a retirement. Yeah, yeah, she's fine now. She's fine. She did have a lot of medical treatments though. She is doing well, but just the lawyers, she already has some mental health issues, and the lawyers just increased her depression like tenfold. So, yeah. Yeah, it was she's doing better, but she's still having to deal with the lawyers. She finally got another car, and that did help ease her, ease what was going on with her, but she's still having to deal with them. I mean, it takes forever. Yeah, Shelly, I don't see why you wouldn't qualify for some type of retirement, disability retirement. So, my husband's on phone waiting for someone to answer on the mortgage, but they won't answer. I am so sorry you have to deal with this mess. I remember having to deal with this stuff when I lost my house. So sorry that you have to deal with this. It is so difficult. I may not have worked enough for. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I see. But you're 62. How old do you have to be? I mean, your disability is that so. I don't know. I hope that your appointment goes well and that you're. Come on. I hope, Shelly, that your appointment goes well and that you get what you would like to have out of it. So, waving my stomach is so bad for 2 months now, right? Because the stress affects your whole body. Your whole body, your digestion. I gain weight when I'm stressed. Um, I don't lose weight. Those people that get stressed and don't eat, good for you, but I'm not that person. Um, and stomach upset and difficulties, ulcers. That's where ulcers come from and things like that. So definitely take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Absolutely, stress sucks. It's difficult. Yeah, yeah. When I get stressed, I eat. And that's why I'm excited about the Trulicity, because that turns off the food noise in my head. And it helps with my digestion and things like that. So yeah, it can. That's how people, young people end up with high blood pressure, heart attacks. I understand, Michelle. I've been vomiting a little lately because stress directly affects my digestive system. They tried a lot of different medicines. Nothing's worked yet. I'm chewing on Skittles. LOL. Yeah. So Joe, they're looking for a medicine to help you with the nausea? Yeah. Shelly says it hasn't stopped at all. You have very difficult life, Shelly. It's understandable. Meds make me sick. Like the only thing I take, like I've been doing kombucha. Do you guys know about kombucha for my digestion? It's sour though. So if sour things will make you puke, don't try it. It's sour. And it's called Synergy. Um, Guava Goddess is my favorite. So for the nausea and extra stress, medication hasn't worked. It's been bad since my father died. Okay, Joe. Yeah. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about kombucha. I started drinking it, but I like sour. I like lemon, I like lime, I like what are those little guys, those little Sour Patch Kids. Um and it really really helps with digestion because of the probiotics. But if you don't like sour and it's going to make you throw up, don't do that. It's a natural option. It is not cheap. On a good note, I'm making garbage rolls for dinner. What's that? Do you mean cabbage rolls? See, and that's what you think about the sour, but it doesn't. I have high acid as well. It does the opposite of what you would think. It helps me digest better. I thought cabbage rolls. I'm like, what are garbage rolls? Shelly. If you're interested, buy one bottle. If you can stand it, but don't drink it if it's just going to make you sick. I have the excessive acid production. And my niece recommended kombucha, and I thought the same thing. Just buy one bottle, just one. And what I do in the morning, brain farts are real, people. I drink half of it in the morning, just after you eat or whenever you feel like it. And then I drink half before I go to bed. Now, this is what helps me the most, because if I drink the half before I go to bed, I don't get acid reflux. I don't get heartburn, because I didn't have it for a couple days and the heartburn came back. So I don't get the heartburn. It helps calm my tummy. So if you can drink it, it's sour. If you can drink it, it's called Synergy. It's kombucha. I can't remember the brand. The people that make it. The older I get, the more brain farts I get. Right? Our brains are just tired. But that was kind of funny, Shelly. So you just one bottle, but it's not cheap. So if it does work for you, I consider it medicine. So it's $3.29 at Walmart for a bottle. So I consider that medicine. So for the day, I'm paying $3.25 to help with my tummy issues. So I would not recommend more than one bottle to try, because if you don't like it and it does make you sick, you don't want to invest a bunch. But I recommend Guava Goddess. Synergy is the brand. It's kombucha. The reason I like it is it's not a lot of sugar. Because to make kombucha, they use sugar, but then a lot of the kombucha brands add sugar for the flavor, so it's not so sour. So what section of Walmart is it in? It's in the fresh juice section by the vegetables. That's where ours is. Like, here's all the lettuce, tomatoes over here, all the vegetables. Then they have a little cold section that has like Bolthouse juice, those naked juices, and then it has kombucha there as well. And if you have the Walmart app, if you put it in there, it's not in my tea section, because it's you have to keep it refrigerated. So it's like in a little refrigerator section there. If you go on the Walmart app, you can put in kombucha, find it, and then it'll tell you what aisle it's in as well. So if you don't find it there, I mean, your Walmart could be different, but that's where it's at mine. Yeah, yeah. um, yeah, not in my Walmart. It's not in the tea section. And I just tried a Brew Doctor kombucha that is tea, and it was not good. It was mostly water. So like they put a little kombucha in the tea, and it didn't work. I'm recommended the Synergy brand. Um, so yeah, yeah. And they even have like refrigerated like dressings there, and those bags of like vegetables like snow peas, bags of stuff you can add to your salad pretty much. Um, what else is over there? Green beans, little bags already washed and everything. So yeah, right by the vegetables and the fruits. So just try one. If it doesn't work for you, then don't buy anymore. But I drank it the half, and you need to wait. I sit and everything. And if I get up too quickly after I eat and I bend over, I get that acid reflux. So I try not to do that. But if you wait long enough, it'll settle your stomach and you won't have that happen. Or at least I don't. I shouldn't say you won't, but I don't. So if you do try it, let me know how it works for you. But like I said, I stopped taking it for a couple days and I was like, no. So I consider it medicine because I've taken acidophilus, probiotics, all that. Yeah, just give it a try. And after you drink it, it doesn't settle right away, but it's going to take some time. And then it does make me burp a lot, but it's getting the gas out. So sit for a good half an hour after you drink it and then see how you feel. And if it makes you vomit, don't drink the other half, Joe. But if it doesn't, give it a try. Yeah, yeah. And so at this point, I consider it my medication, but it's expensive. $3.29 a day for 30 days is they're 329 times 10 is $32, right? Yeah. 3 times 10 is 30. So $90 a month for that. I tried to get some. That Dr. Brew is from Costco. So I tried to find somewhere I could get, and like I said, you have to watch too much sugar. Like I got the Kroger organic one. I thought, oh, this tastes really good. It did. It had a whole bunch of extra sugar in it. Do you drink it or shoot it? If you don't like the flavor, you can give it a try shooting it, but I enjoy the flavor. So if you don't like sour, I would, if you do the shots, you'll probably have to do 2 or 3. But half the bottle I have to drink. But I'm a big lady. I don't know if you guys are as big as me. I am right now I'm 270, but my normal weight is, when I get on the Trulicity, I'll go back down to around 250. So so I'm a big lady. So my stomach's big. So if you don't think you have try doing a shot, but I drink half a bottle. If I don't drink a half a bottle, it doesn't work for me. So I have to drink a half a bottle. Because believe me, I've tried, like I said, I tried not drinking it. Didn't work well. I tried just drinking a little bit of it, and it still doesn't. I have to drink a half of one. But yeah, so if you don't like the taste, you might be able to shoot it in a little glass, because the bottle is, I want to say, 16 ounces. So, or 12. It's about yay big. You'll see it. I wish I had it with me. I don't want to run and grab it, but it's like this. This is, how many ounces is this? This is 13. So it's probably a 12-ounce bottle. And so 6 ounces is half. So if you don't like the flavor, you can try shooting it, but I just don't want to make you guys sick. Just remember, it is sour. You can get sweeter ones, but then they have more sugar in them. So I don't know if they'll be beneficial. That's what I tried first, and I noticed that it did help. And then I realized how much sugar was in it. So I had to find a less sugar version, and that's the one I found without having any added like fake sugars or stevia. It's just not as much sugar. And they use fruit juice when they brew the kombucha. So the added sugars are real fruit sugars. So it's not like with that Kroger one, they just, added, sugar. So yeah, in the drink section. Hey, Nay, how are you doing today? We're talking about a little bit of everything. So we started with complex grief, just trying to figure out what it was. And now we're just kind of talking about whatever comes up. So how are you doing? And is anything going on with you today? Oh, and kombucha. Yeah, my brother used to make it when kombucha wasn't popular, and I just can't see myself doing that. So, yeah, and it tasted as good as it does when I buy it. So, Synergy is the brand. There are many other brands, but you got to watch that sugar, because I don't think you're going to get the benefits of the kombucha if it's just filled with sugar. It did, like I said, it worked for me, but Now that I'm on this other one, it works better. So yeah. And then the one with a lot of sugar, you want to drink the whole thing. So it's not really like medicine. It's more like pop. I am great. Step in while on lunch break. All right, Nate. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're doing good. All right, let's do a little bit more on the complicated grief. Let's see. Did we finish this one? Okay, causes. It's not known what causes complicated grief. As with many mental health disorders, it may involve your environment, your personality, inherited traits, and your body's natural chemical makeup. Complicated grief occurs more often in females, and with older age, factors may increase the risk. Factors that may increase the risk of developing complicated grief include an unexpected or violent death, such as the death from a car accident or a murder or suicide of a loved one, death of a child, close or dependent relationships to a deceased person or to the deceased person, social isolation or loss of a support system or friendship, past history of depression, separation anxiety, or PTSD, traumatic childhood experiences such as abuse or neglect, and other major life stresses such as major financial hardships. Those are things that may increase your risk of developing complicated grief. Complicated grief can affect you physically, mentally, and socially without appropriate treatment. Complications may include depression, suicidal thoughts or behaviors, anxiety, including PTSD, significant sleep disturbances, increased risk of physical illness such as heart disease, cancer, or high blood pressure, long-term difficulty with daily living, relationships, or work activities, alcohol, nicotine use, or substance misuse. So those are some things that can, some complications that can occur from it. So this is very, very serious when we talk about this complicated grief. If you know anyone who's dealing with it, it's very, very serious. So yeah. So I didn't used to know what complicated grief was. I'm glad that I know now. And that it's very serious. Regular grief is very serious, but this complex grief is, I don't know. I haven't gone through something like that yet. I want to say yet because I don't know. I mean, there are certain family members that I don't know how I would get through life without. So, yeah, there is that. All right, let's read some more. Prevention. It is not clear how to prevent complicated grief. Getting counseling soon after a loss may help, especially for people at increased risk of developing complicated grief. In addition, caregivers providing end-of-life care for a loved one may benefit from counseling and support to help prepare for death and its emotional aftermath. Talking about your grief and allowing yourself to cry also can help prevent you from getting stuck in your sadness. As painful as it is, trust that in most cases, your pain will start to lift if you allow yourself to feel it. Support. Family members, friends, social support groups, and your faith community are all good options to help you work through your grief. You may be able to find a support group focused on a particular type of loss, such as death of a spouse or child. Ask your doctor to recommend local resources. Bereavement counseling. Through early counseling after a loss, you can explore emotions surrounding your loss and learn healthy coping skills. That's the key right there, healthy coping skills. This may help prevent negative thoughts and beliefs from gaining such a strong hold that they may be difficult to overcome. Oh, and that is the end. All right. Okay, it's hard not to get stuck in sadness. I feel like I'm letting myself feel it. That's good though. You do want to feel it. You do. You don't want to squish it down and not feel it, because then that makes it stay longer. Like we've talked about, secrets make you sick. I think stuffing emotions down can also make you sick. And sadness. But Joe, I remember what they said. If it goes longer than a year and it seems to be getting worse, and you already have a good medical team as far as your mental health and your physical health. We've talked about that before. So I think that you already have a good support system around you, and hopefully that will help a lot through the process. And I'm going to just repeat some of the other stuff we've said in our grief talks. You're never going to get over losing that person. You're going to get through it. It has been 7 months, but it's not every day now. It just hits hard randomly sometimes. And it's going to. So give yourself some grace. It's going to. And like you said, it's not every day now. So you see that it's going to get better. It's not going. Everybody, remember, we said everybody grieves in whatever time is good for them. Everybody grieves differently. You go through the steps differently. They're not always in that order. You may go through one step twice. You may skip a different step. It's just a guideline. The steps of grief is a guideline if you want to be more education. Everyone is different. And like I said, you really don't get over the loss of a loved one. You get through the loss and live your life. But that person is gone from your life. I don't think you all of a sudden just are happy-go-lucky. You're still going to think about that person. So you're going to get through it. You're going to get through the sadness into the happiness. Yeah, everyone is totally different in how they process. Even genetically, my sister processes grief differently than I do. My husband is going to process grief differently. My friends will process grief differently. Yeah. And the key, I think, here is that if it's not getting better, now it's not going to be perfect like this. If you're increasingly getting a little better, that's good. If you're feeling like it's getting worse, that's when you need to talk about that complicated grief. And we're here for you, Joe. Let's see, what time is it? 2:29. Okay, we got about 30 minutes left. So we can talk about anything we want to. We don't have to talk about just complicated grief. We've talked about the steps of grief. There are 5 steps. Some people say 7 steps. And what we were talking about is that the 5 steps are the basic Kubler, whatever her name was. She came up with this in the 70s. And then now we've taken it and broken it down a little more. Wavy, you have is it Zach with you? I am hungry. You should eat if you are hungry. So the 7 steps, they just break it down a little bit more. If you want to be more precise, either way, I think is helpful. If you need to look at the steps, and we get through it how we can get through it. And he's talking to lawyers that could take forever. Yeah, that too. Well, maybe he'll have some good news when he gets off the phone. I know that always helps, like the anxiety, the knots in your tummy, like sometimes when the good news, mortgage, maybe you'll get some good news after he gets off that conversation. Yeah. Yeah. And they'll be transferring them to this person, to this person. Yeah, they're going to give you a hard time. Yeah. I had Wells Fargo, and I have to tell you, um, they they yeah, they helped us through it. They didn't give us a lot of problems, and but I'm getting letters from them now about I owe them money, so it's never perfect, and I have to call them, and I don't want to call them because it's gonna take forever. Like you, yeah, they were in trouble a long time. Yeah. Yeah, so when I finally had to, I think they had corrected whatever was going on. So they had to help us, basically. Yeah, but like I said, I'm getting these notices. I'm going to have to call them. And it's basically half your day at least. Maybe even the whole day. Like you call, and then because you call the customer service, then they're going to redirect you, and then that person's going to redirect you. And you every time they redirect you, you have to give them all your information again. Every time. Yeah, whole day. Yeah. And so you might as well just be like, okay, I'm going to call the mortgage company. That's all I'm doing today because that's all I'm going to be able to get done. I feel your pain because I don't want to call, but I have to because they dinged my credit. I don't understand what's going on. So I'm going to have to call. I thought I wasn't going to have to pay the mortgage for the house that, it's still there. They haven't really done much to it. Like we could have sold that house, but they had to have $4,000 more. They wouldn't let the guy buy it. He wanted it real bad. I don't know if I told you guys a story. His wife had passed and he was a handyman and he was looking for a big project. And I told you my house, it was up to code to living and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that still needed to be done. And he was looking for a project just like that. And he went up to 76 and they said they wouldn't take anything less than 80. And this was the FHA that wouldn't. So, it could have been sold, but it wasn't, and it's still sitting there. Nothing's happening with it. They mowed the lawn and they took down the deck, but it's still just sitting there. So I don't understand. But again, I don't understand much about government stuff or mortgage stuff even. Just like, what's the payment? I can afford that. Okay, let's do it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. We can go ahead and start another one. What I wanted to do was find, there was one that was not just complicated grief. It was the difference between complicated grief and depression. Long-term grief, undiagnosed or treatment, complicated grief. Fact sheet, printable. Complicated grief has experienced symptoms. This may be similar to the other one. I thought I had found one that was how complicated grief is different from depression. So I'm going to look for that one. Right, Wavy, never understand. They put me on a new medicine and the side effect is, oh no, I got it real bad. So the doctor pulled me off it, but it takes up to 2 weeks to get out of my system. Oh no, Joe. Oh, you definitely didn't need that. I'm so tired of all the medicines, Michelle. All the pill taking gets old quick. Absolutely, because they're giving you pills for the side effects of other pills. And yeah, I understand. So, man, that so sucks. So were you going through that while you were on vacation as well? Or was that after that they put the new medicine? And I know the pill taking, let's see. I am going to look up, as you guys can still see me, I'm going to look up complex grief versus space VS depression. Show more. All right, let's try this. I started the day I got off of the cruise. Oh, I was worried about the side effects. Thank goodness I didn't take it on the cruise. Right. Thank goodness. That was a very smart move, Joe. Very smart. Yeah. Just like you don't want to wear nude tennis shoes when you go on a walking trip. Not that we can do that, but it's the same kind of thing. That way you could enjoy the cruise. But the pictures were awesome. You and your husband looked like you were having so much fun. So much fun. And how about those dolphins? Was that like a life-changing experience, or was it just super fun, or just so cool? It was very cool. Okay, hopefully I'm back. This has been happening since before the live. I turned my computer on, and I was going to do something. When I came back, it was frozen. So I logged out and back in. So this kicking off every once in a while. I don't know if you guys are seeing it, but it's every once in a while I'm getting the wheel of death. The dolphins were amazing. I cried. It was beyond my wildest dreams. I got you, Joe. Yeah, stupid spell check. That is so cool. I think my mom said she cried too when she did that. She did that too. That was one of her bucket list thing. And she did it like when she was working at US Steel. She did it a while ago. And she said, I think she said the same thing. She cried when it was when she was with the dolphins. I don't know what it is about the dolphins, but yeah, they're beautiful creatures too. That could be just in awe of the beauty of them and how sweet they are and amazing. Yeah. Okay, so let me go ahead and share this screen real quick. Share screen. Okay. Let's go back here. Okay, so complicated grief versus depression. And I think one of the things they said was if you're already depressed, it can contribute to having complicated grief. So let's take a look, see at this. Complicated grief and depression are both mental health conditions that can involve sadness and loss, but they have different characteristics. Okay, this will be helpful. Complicated grief, a prolonged and disabling grief response that can occur after the death of a loved one. Symptoms include intense longing, preoccupations with thoughts of the deceased, and difficulty resuming normal life. Risk factors include a history of mood disorders, alcohol or drug abuse, and multiple losses. So you hear about people who've lost, a family member and a pet, two family members. That's going to compound the grief. A condition that can, depression, a condition that can involve persistent sadness, hopelessness, and low self-esteem. Symptoms include feeling worthless. Oh, are you guys able to see it? Yeah. Okay. Worthless, self-critical, and pessimistic. Causes include stressful events, personality, family history, and more. The relationship between complicated grief and depression. Complicated grief and depression can occur together. A comprehensive medical and psychological exam is often needed to get the correct diagnosis. It's important to note that grief is a natural process that is unique to each person And we did talk about that. Everybody grieves differently. Oops, more comments. Everybody grieves differently. And you can't judge somebody on how they grieve either. Sorry, everyone. I have to run. Please take care of yourself and all the best. Have a great day, Wavy. I hope everything goes well. Try to have a good day, Michelle. Thank TC, Michelle. Okay. I'm having difficulty in this leg that I had the surgery on. Like last night it went numb and it doesn't normally do that. So, and I think I'm gonna have to take some pain medicine or something tonight. And because I don't think I've been sleeping. Well, I've been sleeping all right. I can't complain. I've been sleeping through the night mostly and getting up at a decent time, where before I wasn't sleeping through the night at all. I was getting up at like 3, wide awake, and then going back to bed. And I think that was stress of his. I don't know if I told you guys, I finally got his insurance. We paid for the doctor's appointment, and then the doctor ordered tests, and we thought we were going to have to pay for the test, but his insurance actually covered the tests, his health indemnity. So we were glad about that. So I wish I could just find a doctor who takes the health insurance for him. Oh, coffee's gone. Coffee's gone. There's just a couple of us left. 2:42. We have about 15 minutes. Let's look at this complicated grief and depression a little. Prolonged grief disorder, depression versus grief, TAPS. Tragedy assistance resources for survivor. Let's see, that's sponsored. Healthline, psychiatric.org, and the bereavement exclusion. Let's check this one out. All right, we only have a few minutes, but we'll still check it out. Coffee's gone. It's a crime, right? Now I have to drink water to go with the coffee. And I noticed too with the kombucha, I'm not having as much trouble with the coffee either. So that's why I said the acid, it sounds like it's going to be acidic, but it actually, whatever's in the kombucha actually settles my stomach in. If the extra acid is from stress, it helps with that. I don't really know. I couldn't figure out what the extra acid was about. But I couldn't drink coffee. It would just, my tummy would just, all that acid would not be good for my digestion. I would not feel good. Did I tell you it's white chocolate raspberry cream I had too? And it's very good. Chobani. I like the Chobani creamer. Okay, so let's move this one. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to stop screen. That stuff. I think that some of it is water, but I don't think you could count it as a glass of water. Shelly. Let's go to present, share screen. There it is right there. All right. We'll come back. You're so funny. Okay. Oh, there it is. Major depressive disorder and the bereavement exclusion psychiatric association, American Psychiatric Association. You can't make coffee without water. That is true. That is true. You are correct. But you know how these Stanleys are so fancy now? It's just coffee flavored water. I gotcha. So the caffeine doesn't count, right? Caffeine doesn't count. But these, I've been drinking out of these 40-ounce cups since I worked, which was how many years ago? I stopped in 2020. When did I have my surgery? Oh, goodness. 2018. I don't know. I started there in 2019, 2020. Oh, it was 2022. Exactly. 2022 is when I had my surgery. What was my point? Shelly, you got me laughing, and now I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, 2022. I've been drinking these since 2019, these 40 ounces of water, because we used to have a little cart, our electrical cart, and then I would put my cup on there because you could sometimes be out for a while. And so I'd go, you could sometimes, if you were busy, you'd go from job to job to job, forget to eat lunch. And so this would be on my cart, so I could always have water. And my Stanley handle broke, got a hold of a customer service, and they sent one out that day. Their lifetime warranty is amazing. Awesome, Joe. Yeah, you should be able to do that. Yeah. This was my Christmas present. This is just my friend got me this. But this type of mug, I started with a 32 ounce, and then the first summer I worked there, I I might have been there for a year before I could find a 40 ounce. And I've been drinking them since 2019. So yeah. I love them. I love them. I don't have a Stanley, but I think that warranty is awesome. Yeah. And especially with all the medications we take, we need water, Shelly, not just coffee. Mm. LOLC brain farts. Yeah. I know I have them all the time, especially if I could to have a real Stanley. Do you have one like me? I just have a I don't know what, I think they got this from the Hello Kitty store online or something. And so you can get still nice cups, but if you don't buy the Stanley, this doesn't have a lifetime warranty. As I told my friend, she got it for me for Christmas. I said, if this decal starts to fade or anything, I'm not going to drink out of it anymore. I like to keep my cool cups. You got yours from Temu. And that works too. That works too. I drink at least one a day, and in the summer, I drink two a day. And then sometimes I don't drink one a day, but I mostly try to drink one a day because I need 80 ounces of water normally to be in good condition, good for your skin, good for your body, and all that. But in the winter, I haven't been getting a lot of that. But I've been drinking tea. Tea counts too as water, and coffee. But with the coffee, I definitely have to supplement water because I'll get cramps, Shelly. I know it's coffee flavored water, but I get cramps if I don't drink any water. Yeah, at least one of these. Oh man, and the cramps. I'm sure you guys know it's so hard. Skin is overrated. You are on point today. You are on fire, Shelly. Skin is overrated. Yeah. Mhm. Well, there are other bodily functions that you need water for. But yeah, this leg, it went numb yesterday. It's been cramping. Um, I don't know. I probably should do some kind of stretches. I'm afraid to get on the ground because then I have trouble getting up, you know? It's a cycle. It's a crazy cycle. But it's the one that had the surgery that's been bothering me. And when it went numb, I was like, what is going on? Is like, because sometimes, even though the knee is straight, sometimes I feel like the knee that needs surgery that's really bad, it doesn't bother me as much as the one that's operated on. Even though it hurts a lot, it does hurt, don't get me wrong, but this one that's been operated on, I still get trouble like I used to get the pins and needles, but that was the nerves coming back, because they took my whole knee apart. And then when they put it back together, some of the nerves were not happy about it, but I haven't had the numbness in a long time since I had the surgery, you know, and It concerned me last night. I got my water. It's just in coffee form. I know, Shelly, I know. Some of us, me personally, I have to have a little more. That's all. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with having coffee and water in coffee form. We're all friends here. But you said you don't use the coffee cream every day. Just kind of once in a while when you're feeling like it. Because that was so good. I drank that whole thing in probably a week and a half. You need to get that knee checked. My husband's leg would do that after he stood or walked on concrete too long. I really haven't been doing that a lot. But it's right under the surgery leg. It looks good. It's just the nerves. And then when I did go to the doctor and ask him, he said, well, it just depends. Some people do and some people don't. But if this continues, the numbness, I will go to the doctor. I'm going to try and stretch it out today. My husband's home, so he can help me get off the ground. I think though, Christina, my knees are bad from walking and standing on concrete for too long. I think that's why they're so bad. But plus I have the osteoarthritis, but yeah, I haven't been doing that lately. So maybe I did something, twisted it a certain way. Yeah, I know. And I have to be careful too, that sciatica. I've been feeling like I need to, but every day I do the dishes, I get up, I walk around, I have the cats. I mean, I don't go shopping every day. But yeah, I'll have to do something here. Yeah, it just happened last night and it scared me a little bit when I was going to sleep. My husband had to live on Norco. Oh man, I hope that is not something that I would have to do. That's right. You had told us that he passed recently. Is that correct, Christina? You don't have to talk about it. I don't want to make you sad. We were talking about complex grief today, though. And I'm going to check because I've been checking my lives and I went and deleted a bunch of lives on StreamYard because we have the free one now. And I'm hoping that you can see the live comments if you go back and watch. Yes, a few months ago. Yeah. Yeah. How are you feeling today? I've been seeing your puppies, though. I love that you're putting your puppies on there a lot more. I love pictures of them. They're so cute. And I bet that they do put a smile on your face. Yeah, if I have numbness for too long, I will go to the doctor, but you know what I haven't done in a long time is the chiropractor. I'm doing a little better, but it comes in waves. Absolutely, Christine, it comes in waves. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm stretching now. No, I'm going to stretch after because it's feeling a little bit numb right now. Like I said, it started yesterday. If the stretching doesn't take care of it, I will make a doctor appointment because it's got to be something with the nerves. Because they move all that stuff away so they can put the new knee in, and then they got to try to put it back together, and nothing's ever the same after that. Never the same. That's why I don't know if I'll ever get that other knee done. Even though it hurts, it works real good. I can bend it, I can kneel on it, and it doesn't kill me. I don't get the numbness. But the surgery was awesome. He did a great job. My knee, you can barely see the scar. It's very straight. But yeah, chiropractors scare me. When I was working, I used to go all the time because having a bad back scared me more than the chiropractor. And I was an electrician, and I cannot tell you, every electrician I talked to had a bad back. So I started going to the chiropractor while I was an electrician just to try to stave that off. And thank goodness now I don't have a really bad back. My neck gets real tense and my lower back. My niece just had laparoscopic 4 weeks ago. Only took an hour and a half. She said it's a lot of pain. Oh, okay. That's a surgery, right, Christina? But yeah, it's never the same. I know they try to be less invasive with those new types of surgeries, and they used a robot to do mine, so he was less invasive than a normal regular surgery because my scar is only like that big. Knee replacement. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Oh, it hurts a lot. And the downtime is months. And then I never got, and the doctor just said some people get 100% and can just do everything after their knee surgery. Some people don't. I went to NE in Arkansas and he wanted to adjust my 6-month-old son. I said, hell no. Yeah. I can totally understand that too. You don't want your baby to get all cracked and whatever all that is. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times I think we're just scared of stuff we don't understand as well. But I understand that, Shelly. Yeah. 6-month-old son. You're not going to be cracking his, like. Oh, so it is 2:57. And we've talked a little bit about everything and some about complicated grief. And I took my medicine. I don't know why I'm having trouble talking, and I just had my coffee. So I'm getting prolapse surgery next Thursday. Oh, surgery is not fun. Are you feeling anxious about it, Christina? Or is it going to be non-invasive? And he said my back was jacked up because my pelvis was tilted, and all women's pelvics are tilted. Okay. Well, like we've said before, there are some bad doctors and there are some good doctors, and you have to beware of the bad ones. So, if a chiropractor doesn't give you an X-ray before they touch you, that's a warning sign. They should be looking to see what problems you have in your back. It's major surgery. I'm just over the aggravation. He was a bad one. Yeah. So some doctors are good. Happy to get a little scared. I gotcha. Put your mind on something else, right? Yeah. Well, I hope that all goes well. When did you say you're having surgery? Next Thursday. So we will be live again next Wednesday before you go in. If you need to chat, or you can always DM me if you need to talk privately, or in the group. And you can always, if somebody's in there to chat, you can always go over to their personal Instagram and talk with them if that's okay. So it's not all in the chat. Sending prayers, Christina. Yep. So all goes well. Everybody, all goes well for Shelly, Christina, Joe, and I know Michelle was here earlier. I don't think anybody else was here today but us ladies. Yeah. All righty. So it's 3:00. And I'm going to go try to stretch. We'll see how that works out. So thank you guys for being here. And I'm going to say this every single time because it's true. You guys help me as much as I hope I help you. So have a great week. I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you, Shelly. And I'll just have a great week. I'll talk to you later, everybody. Bye, everybody. Bye. Hi. My throat is not doing well.